What's going on, everybody? What's going on? There have been so many moves this past week in the WNBA that it's hard to not have a conversation about what does this mean for this upcoming season. And I'm here to talk about that because I have put together what I feel are my power rankings for the WNBA as the free agency has pretty much come to an end already because all the big players and big names have already moved. Like that's just the reality. I think the only name that we're still waiting on to see if what she's going to do at this point is realistically Diana Taurasi because she has not officially announced her retirement from the WNBA. So is there a possibility that she might go back to Phoenix for another season? I mean, to say that she's not able to perform would be a lie. She still averaged 15 a game last year. So is she going to retire? That is the question. And the only other two free agents of note, well, there's three more, and two of them are in Vegas: Alicia Clark and Tiffany Hayes. So what's going to happen with them? Are they going to stay in Vegas? Or is Hayes going to retire because she had retired before, I believe? Um, we shall see. And then, of course, the real one that we want to know all about is Kennedy Carter. What's going to happen with Kennedy Carter? Is she going to be left out of the league? Is no one going to sign this woman who averaged over 30 a game in China this past off in the past few months? Is that really what's going to happen? I would be fucking shocked if that's what happened. And it to me, she needs a strong head coach. And there's two places at this point. I know Indiana fans don't want to hear about it and they don't want her, and I'm not going to include them in the conversation because I think at this point, Indiana's pretty much tapped out. I think if they make one more move, it would be for Tiffany Hayes. That's just my opinion. To make the old guard of the WNBA really, really lose their minds. But it's Minnesota and it's Minnesota and it's Vegas. Those are the two possibilities, in my opinion. We shall see what happens, though. But all that said, I'm coming out with some power rankings. I'm coming out with my power rankings. You got all these moves that have gone on in the offseason, and I think there are some moves that are better than others nationally. I've talked about them. I did a live about that yesterday, and I think there's some moves that change the power dynamic of the WNBA. And I will start off with number one. Number one, I'm not gonna make you go. I'm not gonna do 12 to 13 to 1. I'm not gonna make y'all go through that. First of all, okay, I'll start with 13. 13, Golden State. Move on. Expansion team, they're gonna suck. 12, Connecticut. They got gutted. They lost. I've already changed what I'm doing. They got gutted. They took a beating. They lost Bonner, Thomas. Yes, they even lost DJ Carrington, Brianna Jones. They took a beating. They did bring in Tina Charles. They did bring in JC Sheldon. They did bring some other people in. Lindsey Allen, I think it was. Nah, they're gonna be in trouble. That it's gonna be and of course they lost their flipping coach, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough sale for them in 2025. Going from there, it's a it's a tough toss when you look at these middle teams. You know what I mean? Um, oh man, I'll go with the Washington Mystics. They really haven't made any moves of significance. Don't think they're going to be very good. They weren't good last year. They didn't really do anything that I've noticed in any free agency or trades that will turn the tides and make a shift over to them. So I put the Washington Mystics at number 11. Then you're looking at a few teams right here. Probably the Chicago Sky will be number 10. Angel Reese will return naturally. Again, the Chicago Sky have not done a whole lot in terms of making moves. They're bringing in Rebecca Allen, big deal. They're bringing back Onyenwere. Um, Kennedy Carter's gone. They bring back Cardoso. Don't know really what they're gonna do. In terms of shooting, they don't have any shooting realistically. So we shall see. But I would put probably Chicago Sky at number 10. Nah. Dallas Wings probably number 9. Looking at them, they've made some moves, but nothing that's going to change them and make them really good. Arika Gumbawale, she is the same volume player, and I think Unrivaled has really exposed her for who she is. She's a very, she's all volume and no efficiency. She can score a lot of points if she takes 23, 24, 25 shots a game, but she's been exposed in a game in which she's open so often and just missing shots. She's a shot maker in clutch situations, and when she's hot, she's deadly. But I'm not. I don't think much beyond that. And this one's gonna surprise you, and I'm gonna put this one out here right now. It will surprise you. Number 8, the Las Vegas Aces. Now, it will surprise you because obviously they still have Asia Wilson. But I don't think people truly understand what Kelsey Plum brought to that team and how Jewel Lloyd is a major downgrade from Chelsea Plum. Kelsey Plum. I think she's a major downgrade. Major, like completely inefficient player, can't shoot. I just don't think Jewel Lloyd's any good. Like people make a mega trade. Man, LA Sparks won that trade in terms of player for player. Now, you might think that Seattle won the trade because they're going to get the number 2 pick now, and they can maybe parlay that into an Olivia Miles or a Kiki Iriafen or I don't know who else. Depends on if Lauren Betts comes out. I wouldn't touch Paige Beckers with a 10-foot pole. I just don't trust her health. Other people might. If you don't learn a lesson from certain things that you've seen in basketball, is that people that are injured a lot in college are not going to last very long in sports. Forget about the WNBA. Forget about the NBA. In sports, folks that are injured a lot in college are not long in the league. Joel Embiid has been a great player in the NBA when he can play. The man's missed half of the games that he should have played over his career. Half. He missed his first 2 full seasons. And the man gets hurt every single year. When he's healthy, he's great. But he's never healthy. And even when he's healthy, he's still not healthy. He still has that bitter beer face all the time. So I don't look at him. I look at him and a guy like that who was hurting. He was hurt in college. Like, and that's what Paige reminds me of. She reminds me of these people that are hurt all the time in college. And now all of a sudden you think she's going to become healthy in a league that's so much more physical than what she's already playing in. I wouldn't touch her. That's me. But I would sit here and I would tell you the Aces are number 8. Jackie Young looks like she hurt her knee. Don't know if she's going to come back and play this weekend. We have gotten no report. She missed her game on Monday. We don't know. I'm sorry, she didn't play Monday. But we just don't know at this point because they played Friday and Saturday. They never announced anything. So we don't know. And I don't think Chelsea Gray is that good. Obviously, Asia Wilson is still a very, very, very good player, but for the WNBA, but they haven't really done anything. And I don't think Jewel Lloyd's that good. I don't think it's going to take time for them to get chemistry wise. Jewel Lloyd's a volume player. She needs the ball. Will she be happy taking 12 shots a game? I don't know. Then I move into now. Understand the Aces haven't made any moves. They have basically lost players. I mean, they replaced Kelsey with Lloyd. If they were to make a deal for Kennedy Carter, I would sit here and I would alter this entire thing. Okay, understand that. Now, let's look at number 7. I would put in the Seattle Storm at number 7. They did resign Nneka Ogwumike. Jewel Lloyd is gone. They're gonna have the number 2 pick, but are you really gonna? And they, I mean, Skylar Diggins Smith. Skylar Diggins returns. Not getting any younger. Looking at their roster, they did core Gabby Williams, so maybe they get her back. Uh, See if Nika Mule is able to be healthy. We'll see. Obviously, they have Easy Magbagor, but they have a their roster has not been completed, folks. It has not been completed, and we shall see what happens with them. Because I think a big part of it is to see what they do in terms of the draft. What is going to happen with the draft. Again, Ogumake resigned, but not so sure. Not so sure with this. So let's see who they draft and see what direction they go. But right now, I would have them at number 7. I would have the Dream at number 6. I actually, nah. Let me think about that. Uh, I would have. I'm on the fence with the Dream and the Mercury. I have those two like neck and neck. Um, the the Mercury obviously now have 6'7" Kalani Brown that's going to be playing instead of Brittany Griner. They got in. They still have Kyle Copper. They got in Alyssa Thomas. They brought over Satu Sabali. Um, Again, that Diana Taurasi, I think still really matters. If they were to bring her back, I think that would make them a little bit different. Um, I do have questions there. I do have some questions. So they let go. They lost Natasha Cloud. They lost Sophie Cunningham. So I do have some questions. I would probably put them at number 7 at the moment. Think if Diana Taurasi comes back, maybe number 6, but right now I would have them at number 7. Then if I look at number 6, then that's Atlanta. Atlanta is number 6. They made a big move to get Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is gonna take care of the middle. You're seeing how good Alicia Gray is. I think we've all got a newfound respect for Alicia Gray with what she's done in Unrivaled. Ryan Howard is a good player, but she needs to get more efficient. Shoots the ball with too low a percentage, so her improvement and her shooting going up would be very very big for Atlanta. They brought over Brianna Jones. You can put her next to Griner. She's 6'3", 6'4", 14 points per game over 8 years with Connecticut. They did lose Tina Charles naturally. Back to Connecticut. Jordan Canada is at point. I think her health is important to them, really, really important. And then, those are the big things right there for them. Aerial Powers 8.5 points a game. I think they're going to be a much better team this year than they were last year. And I do think that addition of Brittany Griner is really, really big, as well as Brianna Jones. The big, strong post presence for both those players. So I think they're number 6. That's my 6. And then if you go into it, now we're looking at the top 5. Did I say 6 and 5? I'm sorry. So that would be number 5. The Dream would be number 5. The Mercury, no, yeah, Dream, Mercury 5, Dreams, Mercury 6, no, Mercury 7, Dream 6, the Sparks number 5. That's gonna surprise you. I love the move they made for Kelsey Plum. I just do. You can disagree, and I'm sure you will disagree in the comments. I love the move. I think you have a team that has talent. You still have Dearica Hamby out there on that squad who had a really good year, solid year this past season. I mean, she averaged 17 and 9, 51% shooting, 3.5 assists, 1.7 steals. You're bringing her back. She's 6'3". Rakea Jackson's getting a bit is older. I think she's benefiting a great deal actually from Unrivaled because she's playing out in the perimeter a lot. In it right now. She averaged 13 a game last year off the bench. I know she played off the bench a lot. I don't remember her starting a lot. I think she came off the bench for a good number of games, but maybe I'm wrong because I remember seeing her come off the bench. Maybe it was just the game that I watched. Let me check real quick. Okay, Jackson stats, game log. Was she starting? How? It doesn't say if she was starting or not, but whether or not she started, it doesn't matter. I could have swore that she can't sing games where she came off the bench. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, when she played 40, obviously she didn't come off the bench. Either way. Okay, Rakea Jackson, she is going to make a difference for this team this year. I think she's going to be a lot better. She's showing some perimeter skills in the Unrivaled League. She shot 35% from three last season. I want you to consider this, and I'm not making this comparison. So relax before you lose your freaking minds. Relax before you lose your minds. She shot the ball from three. Where is it? She shot the ball from three at a higher percentage than Caitlin Clark did last year. I know it's not a comparison because Caitlin Clark shooting the ball from the parking lot, but she shot at a higher percentage from three. So she's a decent 3-point shooter. She played out, 28 minutes a game, 29 minutes a game. I think she's going to be a big, big part of their team next year. Then you got Cam Brink. Is she healthy? If Cam Brink is healthy and returns from that torn ACL, she's a really strong defensive player, nice in the post, has some skills. I think that would be a big, big thing for them, obviously. Ray Burrell's playing an Unrivaled. I am not tremendously impressed by her, but she's athletic. And then I look at someone like the fact that they re-signed Odyssey Sims. Odyssey Sims is really good, like really good. And she was on different 10-day contracts or some shit like that last year. And she moved around the league. The fact that they re-signed her and now she'll be on the Sparks, I think is big for them. I mean, she's played on a number of teams, but one thing that Odyssey Sims can do is she can put the ball in the hole. In her 9 games with Dallas last year, she averaged 17 a game. With LA, it was a little bit different. She played less. She shot the ball less. She averaged 10 points a game. But she can put the ball in the hole. So I think that's a good keep for them. Azare Stevens is looking pretty decent and Unrivaled as well. And then, of course, at the end of the day, they got themselves a leader now in Kelsey Plum. She's going to lead that team, man. She's going to be the leader. Her and Hamby are going to lead that team. I think they're going to be a dark horse to do something next season. I really do. I really, really do. I think they're a dark horse to do something. And then you get into the top 4. Who did I miss? So I said Valkyrie. I just realized that I have Sparks at 4. So yeah, let me go back down this. Golden State 13, Connecticut 12, Washington 11, Chicago 10, Dallas 9, Vegas 8, Mercury 7, Dream 6, Seattle Storm 5. I think that's what I said. If I didn't, I inverted them, my bad. Sorry. Because I'm not actually, I was writing it down now. Storm 5, Sparks 4. I think people are gonna be surprised by them. 3 is the New York Liberty, defending champions. They lost Courtney Vandersloot, who went to Chicago. Oh yeah, Chicago got her also. Big deal. She's older. They lost her. Brianna Stewart has not impressed me at all. Sabrina, they got lucky. I'm gonna be real. They got lucky. That bogus ass call ended the damn freaking finals that allowed the freaking I mean, the travels that they missed. My God, the screw job that the Lynx got last year. Holy shit. In that game, the Liberty should have lost game 5 and the Lynx should have been champions. Nonetheless, the Liberty, I mean, they still have talent. John Quill Jones, Brianna Stewart, Serena Ionescu, but I don't think the hunger will be there. I think the hunger has dropped a bit, and I'm not. I mean, I've heard Sabrina crybabying a little bit too much about how she's not into it and unrivaled. Then why are you playing, man? Don't collect a check. I don't like that shit. They haven't made any real moves to get themselves better because what happens when you win a title? People are coming for your throat, man. It's what it is. So I think I got them at 3. I got the Minnesota Lynx at 2. They were in the finals last year, and I have a feeling that they're probably going to end up in the same position they were last year, and that is losing to the Indiana Fever in the WNBA finals because the Fever are just abso-freaking-lutely loaded. I love Kayla McBride. Courtney Williams is on and off. They bring back Alana Smith. They bring back Natasha Heidman. They bring back Bridget Carlton. But man, oh man, oh man, Nafisa Collier is that girl. She is a beast. She is an absolute flipping beast. And they're going to be great. They're going to be great. If there's one team that can beat Indiana, I do think it's Minnesota, but I don't think they're going to beat Indiana. I think Indiana's just absolutely freaking loaded this year. These like people don't understand how much they brought in and what they let go to bring this in. This was a team that had 0 depth last season. 0. Indiana Fever number 1. They had 0 depth. They have a rookie starting point guard. They got a second-year starting center. A year before their 13-win team. They go to the playoffs for the first time in 8 seasons. And what do they do in the offseason? They bring in 17 points per game from Natasha Howard. They replace sack of potatoes Nalissa Smith with a dog beast of a woman, Natasha Howard. She might not be as big as Nalissa Smith, but she is tougher than Nalissa Smith. I can promise you that, and has a much better game. You signed DeWanna Bonner, a Hall of Fame basketball player who was a mature 37 years old and has made the All-Star team 6 of the last 7 years. 6'4", long, athletic. You bring in Sophie Cunningham in a trade in which I thought you overpaid for her, but you know what? You wanted to dump off Nalissa Smith, whatever. Cole Cunningham brings you a great guard off the bench. I thought she'd be starting at first, but now she's coming off the bench. You still have Lexi Hall, who now is in her proper position, coming off the bench. You don't need Lexi Hall starting. You need Lexi Hall coming off the bench. You still have Katie Lou Samuelson, who, if she can regain some level of form and just be someone that can make a spot up 3, that would be great. You re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. Huge, huge thing. You got Damaris Dantes still. You just signed Sydney Colson. I get it. I get it. All these people are saying she sucks. She's a bench warmer. Yeah, she is. She absolutely is. For most of her career, she has been a bench warmer. She's 35 years old. She is someone that you don't need to stick in there for 20 minutes. You're not going to have to. But if you want to look at what she did last season, she played important minutes when Chelsea Gray wasn't available. She had some good games. She had some games in which she was energy, man. Her energy helped them. She's not going to play 15 minutes a game. She's going to play 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's going to take that role that Erica Wheeler had, although Erica Wheeler's still on the roster. So I don't know what the plan is with Erica Wheeler at this moment, at least on the ESPN roster. So end of the day, if she plays 6, 7 minutes a game, that's her job. And she's energy. And you know what? It pisses off everybody in the WNBA that she's now part of the Indiana Fever. And of course, you have Aaliyah Boston, who hopefully is going to be in better shape and run the floor and do her job. And of course, you brought in Jaylen Brown, who, overseas put up some nice numbers. How far on the bench she is, I don't know. You still got Christy Wallace. I can't even believe that she's still there. But then finally, of course, you got Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, man. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to be 1,000% honest with y'all people, because this is what I do. Caitlin Clark people have taken shots at Caitlin Clark because she did not win an NCAA championship. They ignore that she's won multiple gold medals. Okay. But she didn't win an NCAA championship, which is a bullshit reason to criticize somebody when you're playing with a bunch of decent average players and you're playing teams with 10 McDonald's All-Americans. What she did at Iowa was nothing short of remarkable. But now, she got her first year. She got her feet wet. She led them to the playoffs. She had her struggles. She had her ups. She had her downs. She had some downs. She had some tough nights. Turning the ball over. Like to see that turnover number come down to about 3.5. 3.5. If you're at 3.5, that's really good. 4 max. I don't want to see 5. 5.5, can't see that shit. But at the end of the day, this is the best group of talent she's ever played with. She's never had more talent around her. Keeping it real, man. This is a talented team with great vets and great young players. She's one of the young players. People that can finish for her. People that will complete what she needs them to complete. Get those layups and run the floor. I would be shocked if Indiana does not average in the mid-90s in points. I would be shocked. If Stephanie White does what Christy Size did, I'm going to lose my mind. I don't believe she will. But in the mid-90s, I expect her to score at that level. That team to score at that level. And I think you might not see Caitlin average 25 because now there's so many more guns around her and bullets that she has to choose from. But she's going to average 12 assists. And I'll tell you right now, they have to win the championship this year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Every critic of Caitlin Clark will freaking fly out of the forest and say, I told you so. She won all that. If they don't win the championship, there is no excuses. There are no excuses. They have to win this year. Not next year, this year. Because you don't know what's going to be next year. With this group of women around her, I mean, it's going to be hard to lose. Because it's not like they just got better offensively. They got better defensively. Bonner plays defense. Howard plays defense. Like, you got better defensively as a team. And I think that's huge. I think that's big, man. And everybody who has a problem with Caitlin Clark will come out the woodwork if she does not get the job done this year. And they will tell you and they will remind you, and there really won't be much you can say if it doesn't happen, because this is the most talented and deep team in the WNBA right now. Unless there is some massive injury that happens that we cannot prepare for. And that massive injury largely would be if Caitlin Clark got hurt. Or Kelsey Mitchell. But realistically, as long as I'm not worried about DeWanna Bonner. She's always healthy. She plays 40. She plays all the games almost all the time. As long as they're healthy, there's no reason on earth that this team does not just win the WNBA championship, but rolls to it and dominates this season. But that's my power rankings. Indiana number 1, Minnesota number 2, Liberty number 3, Sparks number 4, Storm 5, Dream 6, Mercury 7, Aces 8, Dallas 9, Chicago 10, Washington 11, Connecticut 12, and 13 Golden State. Of course, this is subject to change because not all the free agents have made their minds up yet. We still don't know where Kennedy Carter is going. That's what I got. And if she signs somewhere, then we will revise this list. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. If you're new to the channel, again, please be sure to subscribe. I appreciate you. Like the video, comment on it. All the best. Come on now.